Hello, everybody, and welcome to Skip Happens Podcast. And, of course, the podcast where we dive deep into the stories, songs, and sounds behind some of country music's most exciting artists. Tonight is no exception. I'm your host, Skip Clark, and I got a great treat for you. Joining us are the incredibly talented members of the country music group Due West. From heartfelt ballads to unforgettable anthems, these guys have been making waves in the industry with their harmonies and unique blend of traditional and modern country music. And whether you've been following their journey for years or just now discovering their sound, you're in for an amazing, or at least I hope so, an amazing conversation. I'm sure it's going to be amazing on your end. Maybe not on my end. But, you know, no, I'm under pressure. This is pretty cool.
It's amazing from your end.
Oh my God! No, you're amazing, and I guess we're all amazing. Let's just say it. We're all amazing.
We are.
But before we went on,
let's call it what it is.
I love it. First of all, y'all can hear me okay through that phone, right? We're all good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we had a little. We had a little technical, whatever you want to call it, in the beginning, but we got it down.
I don't know. I think TikTok was involved. I don't know. Something happened. It crashed. I don't know.
I'll have to put my disclaimer up on the screen. That's all.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking before we went on the air, and I said, you know, I've been doing radio a long time, and I remember Due West, and I want to say it was like early 2000s, maybe 2005, 2007. You guys were there, and you were trying to make a run at radio and trying to do your thing, and the music was phenomenal, the harmonies. But can you take us back a little bit to those early years, the 2000s? How did you guys meet? And we'll take it from there.
Absolutely. So we actually, the three of us are from three different towns in the West, but we all moved to Nashville separately, and we met at a house party that was being thrown by a member of the Diamond Rio. It was a sister's house. His name is Dan Truman, the keyboard player, and he invited each of us, and we showed up there, and we were passing the guitar around that evening, and Tim picks up the guitar, starts singing some songs. Matt and I jumped in on harmony, and that's where it was born.
Yeah.
Wow.
We came up with the name because we're all from the West, and so we figured we had to have something in the West, and we came up with Due West. But that was 20 years ago. We were 9 years old, and so we're excited to be turning 30. So that'll be.
Well,
good.
That's pretty cool. You guys have had a good run then. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
but that's
I'll
cool.
never forget the party. Brad never even talked to me. He talked to my wife first, but he didn't talk to me until I started singing. He thought my wife was cute.
Yeah. No, well, you had to talk to him about something. Oh, I love it. So we got Matt, we got Tim, and who else? I'm sorry.
Mr. Brad. Yeah.
Brad.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of the name. I was having a brain fart. That's Brad. I don't try to point when I'm on camera because it's always like wrong. Yeah. There you go. It's always the opposite.
Yeah, you always have three pointing back at you. They say if you point at somebody.
That's true.
Really? So if I okay. Well,
yeah, who knows?
So I was going to ask you.
Point.
I was going to ask you about the the name of the band, but it all made sense once you guys said you were from three different towns out west, and then y'all kind of got together, moved to Nashville. But Tim over there, you're not from Utah's where you live, right?
Well, I did. To my credit, I lived in Nashville probably 16, 17 years.
Oh wow!
And then I moved to Bryce Canyon to do a country music show, so I didn't stop doing the country music. And I still come to Nashville quite often. And I have a room up here.
That's right.
So I just say, yeah, I live in Nashville.
He gets to claim two states these days, Tennessee and Utah.
Well, that's all right. I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess that's cool.
But it's interesting you brought up some of those, when we first got going, and we're working with some of those same people now. And now that we're out with this new single, it's kind of fun to see who's still at radio that we used to know back then. And some of these people are still there and they remember us. And it feels like we're kind of closing that gap. It's been 10 years since we put out new music, which is wild. It doesn't feel like 10 years, but we crossed paths with Dean Dillon, and that's who produced this most recent project on us. And we're lucky to call him friend, and we've written a lot of songs with him. And this whole album actually we wrote with him, and he produced it. But we had all kind of gone our separate ways. Tim was running his dinner theater out there, and Brad and I had gone gotten real jobs, and we'd all kind of taken a hiatus between COVID and a bunch of stuff. The world just got weird for a second.
Yeah.
Still
Everybody
weird.
feels like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it kind of barely coming back. Yeah. And so when Dean kind of, kicked us in the butt and said, "You guys aren't done yet. Let's go make another record." You listen to Dean Dillon. If you don't know who Dean Dillon is, he's a legend, a living legend, Hall of Fame country music songwriter, all the George Strait stuff, of course, Tennessee Whiskey that Chris, re-recorded and put out and made famous. But when Dean Dillon tells you you're not done and, hey, we're going to make a record, you say, "Yes, sir."
That's right. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
with a
back
name
up
like
bit,
that.
Yeah.
And to back up just a bit, I had brought Dean Dillon out to Bryce Canyon to do a show that I do out there, songwriting show.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he said, "We need to call the boys and get the show back." So I guess it was a good thing that I went and did that country music show in Bryce Canyon, because I don't know, we may not have been back this strong.
That's true.
Which I'm really glad that we are, and I'm glad that it turned out the way it did with Dean.
Yeah.
When you guys all went like doing your own thing, because like you say, COVID kind of changed the way we do things and see things and how we handle life in general. You guys just decided to do your own thing. And what was your own thing, Matt? What were you
Good
doing?
question. Well,
Me? I was selling real estate.
See?
yeah, Brad.
Yeah.
Brad started selling real estate. I actually was a handyman for a minute, and then I got hired into the corporate world, and I was managing commercial properties. I was a maintenance guy for 5 years. I was doing that. I sat behind a computer.
Wow.
And I got to tell you, and we've talked about this, now that we're out doing radio tour and traveling around and starting to play shows and stuff again, there was a time that I would talk to people in my corporate world that I would talk about the days when I was in a band. I used to be in a country band. We played on the Grand Ole Opry. Really? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'd travel around and visit radio and play shows. Really? And Brad had similar experiences. And at that time, I thought in my mind, and again, I think both these boys have had similar experiences where we were like, well, that was a thing of the past. And, that was those were the glory days, but those days are over. So to be back out here and to be visiting radio, and then, it's like Coke in a bottle when when you hear your song on the radio again, and which we're getting to experience now, where you hear an air check and you hear an intro and you hear your song coming on, it's like it's an awesome feeling.
It never gets old. It never gets old.
No.
When that happens, it never gets old.
That's right.
And you guys obviously have been around a little bit. I've talked to other artists that have been around a little bit as well, and they've kind of did exactly what you did. But when they come back and they start doing the radio shows again, and it's like starting over, but they're loving every minute of it. And then they hear their song on the radio. And I'll tell you, one group that did that was Low Cash. And I was talking to them just a couple of months ago, and I was actually talking to Preston today on a text. But, I said, "What is it like?" I said, "You guys have been to the top. You had #1 songs. You did this, and then bam, nothing. And now you're back, and here you are doing a radio tour. Again, something you did how many years ago?" He goes, "Dude," he goes, "nothing like it." He goes, we're here. We're ready. We're ready. So
yeah.
Well, and I bet they feel the same way, and we love those guys, by the way. Yeah. But I bet they feel the same way. Like, you appreciate it more this time when it goes away, and then you maybe wonder if that was it, and then you get a chance to do it again. It's just sweeter and better, and it's gonna be fun. We're hopeful, and it's exciting, and it's just, we'll see what happens. We're ready to ride the ride again.
I like that. I like that attitude. That's cool.
Yeah.
And we, as radio, we need you. We need you.
I love to hear that.
There's
sometimes I feel
too many of this,
the other way.
too much of that. We need you. And I know I'm speaking for a lot of programmers. So, but let's talk about
awesome.
You. Very distinctive harmonies. And it's such a defining part of your sound. How did you guys develop that signature style, and how did you approach harmonizing as a group? Because it's cool.
Well, it was really natural. We all sort of cross over in our musical tastes with the great vocal bands of the 90s and 80s in country music, whether it's Alabama or McBride and the Ride, Shenandoah, Diamond Rio, great bands like that just it was already the road was already paved, so to speak, and then it was really cool through our career to get to know a lot of those guys and become, where our heroes become our peers.
Exactly.
And it was cool. It was cool to hear like Terry McBride or Teddy Gentry of Alabama or whatever. They would all say the same thing. They would go, "You guys remind me of us."
Best compliment.
That
is 100%. Yeah. Wow.
But it's interesting that Brad says that because from my point of view, I'd been in a lot of bands, and I'd been the lead singer, and people be like, "I'll sing harmony for you." Well, they start singing harmony, and I'd be like, "Please just play your guitar."
Please just stop singing.
So I feel like, because I hate, I'm just now realizing this, but all the bands that was just my favorite bands were always the group bands and the harmony stuff. But it wasn't until that I finally sang with these guys I could settle. I felt like I could settle. Hey, these are the guys I need to be hanging with, because it's true, dude. When they started singing with me that first night, it was just like this wall of sound. And it was incredible, and I never felt that. But finally, I was like, "Wait, this could be cool." And now I kind of feel like that was my void in music in the past.
All of those bands are all watching right now, and they're all offended.
They should be, because they're terrible singers.
I love it. I love it. What is if you don't mind me asking, what is the age difference between you guys? Y'all pretty close or what?
We're all close.
We're
It's
all
cool.
within a year of each
Okay.
other. Yeah.
Like I
love
said,
that.
we're coming up in our late 20s, so
Yeah, I know. You got that deal at 9. That's pretty cool.
Actually, though, it's funny you bring that up, because I feel like one of the things that's been encouraging in the last couple years, as we've gotten back with Dean and him kicking us in the butt and going back into the studio and making this record and stuff, we're watching an emphasis seem to shift from a bunch of young guys that all look like soap opera stars. There's a lot, it seems like, and maybe I'm just being hopeful and whatever, but it seems like there's less of an emphasis on that and more just an emphasis on good music. You've got all kinds of different ages, it seems like, that are hitting.
That's true.
You've got different body
Sizes and shapes
and genders and sizes and shapes, for real. And so it kind of feels like it opened the door, like, it's okay, just come with great music, come with something that resonates with people, and we're gonna look past the fact that you guys are more seasoned. And actually, it's funny, you brought up something a second ago about programmers and a lot of these radio guys. We heard something the other day that said, "Hey, look, you could look at it like this. Hey, the bad news is you guys are all getting up there in age." But one guy goes, "The good news is you're getting up there in age." Meaning you guys are seasoned. You're not a bunch of young kids out there that we don't know what's going to happen. You're going to do stupid stuff out on the road or whatever. We're going to show up. We're going to work hard. We're going to put on a great show. We're going to try to sound great.
Yeah.
And, be responsible, not trash a hotel room.
You say, seasoned, but I'm going to tell you, never grow up. Keep doing what you're doing and just have fun doing it. You don't ever want to really grow up, but being seasoned is good. You've got the experience behind you. That's pretty cool. Yeah. That's the way I look at it. I'm never going to grow up. I mean, I'm in my 60s and, forget this.
Yeah. Clint Daniels, remember that song? He says, "When I grow up, I want to be a kid."
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. When I grow up, I want to be a kid. Now, you've been doing this, let's say over 2 decades. And what has been like your most rewarding moment as a band?
Wow.
I know it's
the
a tough
first one
one.
that comes to my mind is Grand Ole Opry.
Yep.
Standing in the circle. We did our Opry debut in 2012. Excited to be getting back on the Opry stage soon. But that'd be one of the first things that comes to my mind.
I think doing some shows for good causes has also been a really cool thing. Getting to be a part of St. Jude has been amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and then we actually did a show one time, and I don't want to get us off track.
No, it's okay, because we go down different roads every once in a while. So feel free to do whatever you want to do.
So we got asked to go sing for the patients in a burn ward.
Oh, man.
Oh, no.
And where?
And in a burn ward of a hospital.
In a burn
Like a
ward.
burn unit.
Okay, in a burn unit. I got you.
Like the whole,
Yeah.
So we got in there, and I don't know what came over us, but we got in the first room and we sang a song called Candles. And we got in the second room and sang a song called Old Flame.
And we were just pulling out our songs that we normally sing,
Well,
covers that people would like. Like we walked into the one guy's room and saw that he was an Alabama fan, the country group Alabama. So we were like, oh, one of the.
Saw you staring at each other.
Right.
We didn't realize it was fire.
It's a great cover. And then we get halfway into it, we're like, oh no, our faces turned red, and
Oh
it was really uncomfortable because we're singing about flames. So we left that room.
And then we said, well, let's just sing one of ours. And at the time, our single was When the Smoke Clears.
Oh boy.
And you can't make this stuff up. It just got worse and worse and worse.
That's got to be like a nightmare when you're having a bad day or something's going on. You think of the worst, and that's got to be the nightmare. Yes.
The worst part was we had a meeting after Smoke Clears and said, hey guys, let's not do this again.
And we did it. And then we went and sang Bible in the Belt, which has a line in it that says,
Mama set the whole church on fire.
yeah, it still burns deep in my soul or whatever. We're like, we quit. We packed it up and left. And I feel like at that point, all the nursing staff and everything were like, yeah, you guys just go. Just get out of here. No, there was one more cool thing that we did recently. I got to bring this one up because we got to remember it. We did a show in Alabama with Dean Dillon. And and it's a tribute show, and it was at the Von Braun Center, so it was packed out, which was cool. It was a live taping though, and so it's actually going to come out probably in a couple months, like on Hulu or ABC or CBS or Netflix or something. But as part of that, we got to be there, which was a huge honor to be a part of that, and all of the people that Dean has influenced and wanted to pay tribute. Dean showed up, and part of the night, they got all the artists that were performing in a big room, and they took a big group shot of us.
Oh, wow.
And so we can say who's in it because so the picture we have, and we can't show the picture yet because it's going to be an exclusive, but we've got a professional group shot, and it's Straight, it's Dean Dillon, and it's Leanne Womack, and it's Pam Tillis,
Cody
Johnson, Zach Top,
Ronnie Dunn,
Riley Green,
Chris,
Jamie Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
It's got
on and on and on.
What's the golfer's name?
Yeah, John Daly, which is a random artist that performed.
Kind of there.
Drew Baldridge.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, on and on and on. And so that picture, once we get to brag about that and share that, that's going to be a pretty cool feather in the cap for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll look forward to that. It's going to be really cool. Yeah, it's a cool thing. You mentioned Drew Baldridge, and
yes.
He is somebody that really, I know a lot of people talk about this, but being an independent artist, knowing Drew as well, not mean to throw names out there, but we've had this conversation, him and I, and I had him come to Syracuse, and he did a show for us. He drove his own car, sold his own merch. He had it in his trunk, did it all on his own. She's Somebody's Daughter was dropping. We played it. He came, he sang it. Song went to #1. Granted, it took a little bit, but you know why? Because he did it all on his own. He dug into his own pocket, pulled out his own change, and paid for everything. I mean, this guy had a goal and said, you know what? If it doesn't work now, I'm not going to do it. But it worked.
Yeah, it did.
And now
he's got a follow-up. He's got a follow-up that's
tough people.
Doing great.
Yep.
We love Drew, and that's
We've known him for a lot of years, written songs with him and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's another example that just gives us hope and encouragement because we're independent right now too. So it's like, hey, it can happen. You got, you just stick with it. And so
talk to us.
That was a great song.
Talk to me about the new single now, because you're back together. You're back on the radio tour. You want to get some music on the radio, and rightfully so. And I cannot wait to really hear the full project. But tell us about the latest single.
I'll tell you what, it was hard to pick. I don't know if you've listened to the album, but it was already hard for us to pick songs to put on the album, but then to say which one's going to be the single was tough. So we had a lot of different opinions and a lot of people talking with us, but this ended up being a single. We're proud of it. We love it, especially the radio edit we've done. But this song is just one of those songs that just kind of fell. There was a groove going, and it just kind of, the idea was there, and it just kind of went into place quickly. I believe it was written in an hour or so at Dean's house in Gunnison, Colorado, and we're really proud of how it turned out.
I think it's got two important elements, which I think makes it easier to get behind for us and hopefully for radio and the fans. It's musically, it's great. It's got a cool, just almost like a mid-tempo rock and drive to it. And so musically it's got this, but thematically and lyrically, it also, I think it's going to resonate with people. And I mean, basically, if you've ever had a toxic relationship or a situation that you need to walk away from and you just can't, you just keep coming back to it, which I feel like people can resonate, agree with and resonate with, that this will speak to you. And yeah,
No question.
it's going to touch, I think it's going to touch a nerve with a lot of people's, habits, bad habits and all that kind of stuff.
I love that. Brad, what's the name of it?
It's called Only Heart I'm Breaking.
Now, does it sound like this?
It sounds almost exactly like that.
I'm going to play like just a verse of it. So we'll just hold on here a second. I love the smiles. When you hear your music, I love the smiles.
I may fool for a weak moment, so I make that midnight call, and I hurt me all over, like I don't love me at all. It's like beating my head up against the door. Why do I keep coming back for more? There's always one more, one last time, and the only heart I'm breaking is mine.
Wow, 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 wow. See? The harmonies, the sound, and there's a lot going on right there. And a lot in a good way. That is pretty cool. So
Thank you.
And if somebody views this, somebody watching now or maybe down the road, because this will be posted, you'll have the video as well. But if they want to get that single, can they log on to like iTunes or go to a social media or maybe download the whole album?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can go anywhere that music is sold digitally. It's on Apple Music. It's on Spotify,
Amazon.
That's right.
Pandora. You can Shazam it. We've got it available for everywhere. And actually, we've got vinyl too. We pressed up vinyl. And something that you'll probably recognize different that a lot of these artists are doing, especially the younger ones or ones on major labels and stuff. They're putting out singles. It's gone back to a singles game, and they're just putting singles. And they're very rarely. It's a while before they get to a whole album. And we kind of did it backwards. We got our hands slapped a little bit because we got the music done. We ended up cutting 13 tracks, narrowed down to 12. We're like, well, these are the 12 that we want on the album. And we were with Dean and his label Unwound Records, and we were just like, let's put it out. Let's make it available. And we went ahead and did the photo shoot, did the artwork, pressed it up on vinyl. We made CDs, and we uploaded the whole thing. And so, yes, for people who want to go listen to the whole album, we invite you to do so. And go listen to it on vinyl, because that's the best experience. Yeah.
When you talked about, when you mentioned you got your hand slapped, I mean, who slapped your hand?
I mean,
as
promotion.
Because you're independent artist. Oh, okay. All right. I get it. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. When it comes to strategy, we get it now that there is, some the mystery still that you want to do, but it is a radio edit that is now becoming available, and it actually doesn't even drop till this coming Friday. And so it's some secrets.
So it actually puts more music on iTunes.
That's right. There's the album and the single, which can also be found a different version on the album.
That's all right. So they could download it for like $1.29 or whatever it is.
Yeah, or if they've already got a streaming service that they pay for, it's there. So, and we want to actually invite you to follow us on all those things. Sometimes people don't realize you can stream the music, but follow us on Spotify, and because that way when we keep releasing new music, it'll notify you and it'll say, hey, Due West is releasing another track or whatever. So
what you got to do is when we get done tonight, give me those links and I'll put them on with this this interview, this podcast. So so whoever it's right there in front of them, which is pretty cool.
You're the best.
No, you're the best. You see, Due West is back, baby. Due West is back. That's what I like to say. What now? You said you're all in Nashville, and y'all live pretty close together. That's Tim comes in from Utah once in a while, but he's there a lot.
Yeah.
But my watch. You know what? Does your watch just kind of randomly do that and tell you to get up and start walking?
Oh, all day today. We've been in the car driving. It's been saying, get up. It's
Get
time to
up.
Move.
And then when you get up when you go somewhere, it says, good job. You know?
That's good.
So,
Yeah, and sometimes when I'm moving too fast, it says you might want to just sit down and take a breath.
then I get my wife going, guess what? I did 11,000 steps today. So that's good, honey.
Yeah.
I did 575. And so, no, it's not that bad. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So if you
Get one of
guys,
those.
if you guys weren't doing this, I know y'all, during that break, you had things to fall back on, but what would you be doing now if you weren't doing this? The same thing? Would you be like running some property service and maybe Brad would be selling mansions and Tim would be doing his country music show in Utah?
I'd still be singing.
I was going to say one of my favorite lines in the last 5 or 6 years of country music is that Luke Combs line that says, that whole song's actually got that same sentiment. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be doing this. And I think that, we'd be forced to go, get a real job and make money to pay our bills. But I feel like, especially if we were living close to each other, we'd still be getting together at least on the weekends and singing together, because we love it just as much as we ever have. And we used to say this years ago, if no one was listening, it makes us smile when we lock on a chord and we're harmonizing and tie it together. It feels
cool.
good for us too.
Oh, yeah.
So,
It's therapy for us as well.
Absolutely. Have you, as individuals, been able to play with other groups? I know Tim does his thing, but do you? Anybody we would know?
I went out with Kelly Coffee for a little while. Remember
Really?
Kelly Coffee?
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
God, I was a big fan of Kelly back in. Oh my God, was that was early 2000s?
Yeah,
And
it
I
was.
think I'm trying to look. I think I have something from the label here on the wall in my studio. I can't find it, but it was Kelly Coffee, and that was cool. Whatever happened to Kelly?
Yeah, I don't know. She made great records, and I still listen to her music. Why Wyoming is still one of my favorite songs.
Nice.
As I'm from Wyoming, but
I
don't know what happened to her.
Texas Plates was her last single.
That's right.
You kind of wonder.
Maybe she'll come back.
You kind of
maybe she'll
wonder.
come back.
Yeah, you guys look at. I mean, just show them how it's done, dude.
Exactly.
For Due West.
Exactly.
I love
There
it.
you go. Sarah Evans is coming back. There's a lot of
Yeah, no, she's on tour. She's playing some of the casinos up here in the Northeast. I know that.
Oh, is she?
Good for her.
Well, to brag on Brad, in the early days, when we were doing our thing, we were doing a lot of stuff with Black Hawk, writing songs with them. And Brad got asked to be in their band to be the high harmony guy. He turned him down.
That is awesome. I was a big fan of Black Hawk. Now we're starting to show our age, and I've been doing radio for quite a while. So that's
Actually, Matt got asked to go out with Julianne Hough on her when she was opening for George Strait.
I did.
Yeah, you did.
I don't even remember.
And
that.
how could you forget that if you're going out with Julianne Hough, dude?
Probably if we had gigs. See, we're priority.
Maybe I tried to block it out of my mind because
I know. But
that
you know what?
Amazing
to have all that between you and what you've done and where you're going and who you've been with says a lot too. I mean, if none of these people had asked you to do anything, for example, Black Hawk or Julianne Hough, or that's a compliment. That's a compliment.
Yeah,
it really is.
So let me ask you, how do you think music has changed over the years? You guys have been doing this a couple of decades now. And of course, if you listen to the radio, you go, who's that? Who's that? This is a new guy. This is, oh my gosh, and one thing I noticed with what we're doing at the radio station that I'm at is we will play a Brooks and Dunn song. Then we come out of it, sounds crazy, but Post Malone. And then you go to Elaine Wilson, and then you go to Luke Combs. And you know what I'm saying? That's the way it's working.
It works.
Yes, it works.
Yeah.
It works. And how about Zach Top?
Oh, incredible. We love that the pendulum swings certain directions every few years. And yet at the same time, it's like the music doesn't necessarily change that much sometimes. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's just the way that music gets to people is what changes. But it's amazing to hear some of these brand new artists come out and pay homage to stuff that we used to love in the 90s or
and
whatever.
That sound like what Zach Top does, sounds like the radio or I Never Lie. It's that 90s sound, and they're loving it. They're loving it. So
They are. And, you know, so 10, 15 years ago, whatever it was when we first started, we get accused of that a lot. Like, man, I love your harmonies. It really sounds 90s. And of course, that was at the beginning of the bro country thing.
Mhm.
It's kind of before that happened. And so we were competing with that. And it was kind of working against us at times, maybe that we sounded 90s. Our 90s influence was really, you know, people, oh man, you sound like Shenandoah or Restless Heart or Diamond Rio, Blackhawk, all those kinds of things. What I love about now, especially with Zach Top, and now, you know, you're going to see a lot more of it now that Zach's having such huge success.
Mhm.
People are loving that 90s sound. And so once again, it gives us hope, like, okay, well, cool. Check out this, check out Due
Mhm.
West, you know, and we also talk about, you know, people get on these, and I've heard Bobby Bones talk about this too, and a lot of people have opinions about this, but it goes in waves. When Anne Murray and Kenny Rogers were making country records, there were so many people that were pissed off about how pop it was, and then they say, oh man, and then it took you know, Ricky Van Shelton and Ricky Skaggs to come in and bring it back country. So every like, you know, the decades, people are mad about things being too pop or things being too country.
Yes.
It's been happening forever, and it'll continue to happen.
That's right.
But like Brad said, people, you know, music moves people. People have an emotional response to music. And so regardless of how it comes across or what box you want to put it in, that's one of the beautiful things about country music is that box has gotten giant. You know, it's such a huge box that now you call country music. You got Shabuzi and Post Malone and Zach Top and Due West and
we prefer to play it the way we play country music,
That's
the way
right.
we hear it and the way we write it.
And that's okay. That's you.
That's what speaks to us.
Yes.
That's right.
Exactly. I always say it's evolving. Music will always evolve. And there's going to be people, oh, that's not country. I'll tell you what's country, you know. But no, seriously, it evolves. All right. So you need to wake up and understand what's going on here. So,
That's
you
right,
know,
for sure. That's right.
what I like may not
And
be what you like,
be
but
true.
it's still country.
Yeah, be true to yourself.
Yeah.
As an artist, that's the advice I would give to any artist that's, you know, finding himself. Be true to you. Be genuine. Be authentic. Because I think that's when you resonate with a broader fan base, is when they might not even know it. It might be a subconscious thing, but for whatever reason, they're resonant. You know, they're connecting with your music, and it's because of you're authentic. It's an authentic place that you're coming from. And I think that's one thing I'm most proud about this most recent album and this single is we got to the point in our life and our career and our maturity level where we're like, let's just be us. And Dean really helped us find that too and settle into that, like, lean into who you are. Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt about that.
I got a question for you.
All right, bring it on, baby. I'm ready.
Who's your favorite brand new,
don't go there,
kind of emerging harmony trio that you remember from about 10, 12 years ago?
You know, it was due south. No, wait a minute. Do on the lawn. Do
on the lawn.
Do something right. Due West. That's right. Yes. And I wasn't kidding, because I remember. I do. And you know, you guys had some success, which is great. And then the world caved in. I don't know. Things changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know, and I can say this now, but when we lost our record deal, kind of talking what we were talking about, that first thing they said to us, and as they said, you need to sound more like Florida Georgia Line.
Yeah. And okay, all right, stop that conversation. Where are they right now?
Wait, say that again. You did glitch out.
No, I'm just kidding. No, that was me. Never. I was messing with you. You can hear me. You can hear me, right?
I know. Seriously.
You real quick.
Hold on 1 second.
I
don't know what's I don't know what's happening, but it's all glitchy.
It's all glitchy.
Shoot.
Hang on. Watch.
And we're live. Too.
We're live. So I'm going to hang up. Watch. Now I'm going to call you back. Here we go. Watch this.
Is that better?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear? It sounds like you're talking through one of those like Electric Eddie voices.
No.
Shoot.
Hang on, dude. Hang on. I'm going to hang up. This is sign language, and we're live. All right. So I'm going to stop. Okay. Now, see, we're doing the audio through the phone because they couldn't connect. And now it's ringing.
There we go.
Hello. I'm
Yes.
calling about your car warranty.
My extended car warranty?
Yeah, the extended car warranty, that Toyota that you're
Yeah.
driving that you might have gotten rid
Yeah.
of about 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's just about to end, and you want to know if I want to renew it?
Exactly. And we have
You
a
know how
great
you
deal.
Stop those completely.
Tim has a way of stopping those.
You know how you stop that completely? They get to the, hey, you get to the, what year's your car, or they see what kind of car you have, and you say, I have a Ford F-150. They say what year, and you say 1968. And usually they so
Click.
sometimes they say something. Most time they just click.
Yeah,
I've
They
done
never
that.
call back.
Tim, I've actually done that, which is like, so what do you drive? Oh, I got this old Dodge Duster. I think it's a 72, 73. That's what I'm driving, man. I've had it for years, man. I just love that thing, you know? And then it's like, hello,
I'd
hello.
love to put a warranty on it.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. That's what you should do. Yeah, be interested in the warranty. Yeah, you guys will protect that, right?
You know what the
Funny.
problem? I mean, I know we're getting off. See, I go down these paths every once in a while, but my mother-in-law is like 96. All right. So these people call. She doesn't drive anymore, but she's too nice to, you know, and next thing you know, she's caught in this whatever, and she gets something in the mail, and it's like, no, Mom, what are you doing? You know, and that's the problem. That's the problem. So
I hate that. That's the sad thing about a lot of those telemarketers and some of those scams is they take advantage of, you know, people that are just too nice. My mom's one of those people too. That's just too nice. Mom, you just got to hang up. But anyway,
I can't. It was a nice young fella, and that fellow sounded so nice. Mom, he didn't speak English, let alone sound nice. You know, just saying. Anyways,
you've got a great voice, by the way, Skip.
Yeah, he does.
You got a great.
Who does?
It's no wonder you do. It's no wonder you do what you do because you got a great sound.
Well, thank you very much. Not as good as Due West though. I can't. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Jade and Mary. Do you know her? What's up? How are you? What's up? Are you doing, guys? So, anyways, Jaden, that's cool.
Jaden. Yes, she can. Oh, there you go.
Are you guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we're here. We're here.
I didn't know there were live chatters.
No. You're just kind of breaking up a little bit, but you are the yes. She can hear. We're good. We're good.
Okay. All right.
We're good. But see, that's the cool thing about this platform I use too. I can get to, you know, I can see the comments, and plus, I think I'm only seeing what's on YouTube. The Facebook would be a lot more, but yeah, I got to work on that. Got to work on that. So let me ask. A few weeks, I'm going to be flying into Nashville. I think.
Yes.
Seminar, the radio seminar. I'm going to be staying at the Omni. I own a corner of Bar Lines. If you guys want to come and hang out,
That would be awesome.
You know, because everybody that I talk to, I would definitely love to say hello in person. You know, I'll buy you a cold one. Who is that, Jaden? I'm glad to have you here. I'm single, not yet married. Please, I do not know. Okay. All right. So. Oh, Matt. All right. Speaking of that, so do you go to the gym? Do you work out? What do you guys do? Do you do any of that?
I think about it.
My watch tells me to, but I don't. I love it.
Yeah, I go from time to time. I do a lot of walking. That's what I do.
Yeah.
After midnight? Do you go after midnight?
Yeah.
But
Walking
Matt
after
actually
midnight.
Matt's pretty into it. He actually does ice baths.
I do ice baths every morning.
Does it help? Does it help?
Dude.
The guy in the middle, I think he is single.
It's true, Jaden. He is. No, so the ice bath thing is changing my life. I really do. I get up in the morning, I go out on my back patio, and I sit in 32-degree water. Just, you know, I have to break the ice off of it a lot of times. And I sit in it for 3 minutes, and it's I could go on and on about it, but just try it sometime and look into it and actually research it because,
All right. So the reason I asked is I've never done that. However, as we talked before we went on the air, I was explaining how we are a big baseball family. And with our AAA team here in Syracuse, for a great number of years, the Washington Nationals were the parent team. Now, because I'm one of their PA announcers and I, you know, just in with the team and all that, which is cool. It's a great job, dude. So we used to house the players. My wife and I would give up a room downstairs, which is now the pod zone. But they used to, this bathroom, bed, dresser, everything you need. And we used to say, here it is. If you want to stay here, you can stay here. So we had a lot of players stay with us throughout a whole lot of years. But they took ice baths. These athletes that's what they were doing. I'm like, dude, you're freaking nuts. He goes, no, they, a lot of them didn't speak English, but still it was, we had a lot of Latino players here. And some of the players went to the World Series.
Yeah. Well, dude, Brad's a huge baseball fan, by the way.
Yeah.
So two thoughts. Yeah, I saw that.
Nice.
Yeah. One thing is you guys could connect all day about baseball. I guarantee it. The other thing is more selfish is you got to get us to come do an anthem on God Bless America, whatever. Like if you have any pull with God Bless America or the seventh inning, any of the anthems, we'll kill it. We kill the anthem. We kill God Bless America. So hook it up, bro. Hook it up.
I'm working on it already. I have an idea, and we're going to talk when we get done. I have a great idea, and it could benefit both of us very much. So
cool.
But all right, it's Due West, everybody. We've been chatting for the last 40 minutes or so, and I don't know, Jaden, what are you guys not answering for me? Well, you're not going to type back. She wants to know how old you are. Yep, and you're all looking good. Oh boy, wow. You sure you don't know this person?
One of your fans? No?
Definitely not one of mine.
Well, Jaden, be sure to follow us on all of our social media. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. So reach out to us there, follow us. We're kind of having a conversation with Skip right now, but we'd love to get back to you and answer some more of your questions as well.
What was that dating match game called on TV?
Yeah. You can find us on Bumble. You can find us on Tinder, Hinge, plenty of.
What is it? You swipe to the right or the left? I don't know.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I have no idea. It's been a lot of years for me. I haven't, but yeah, I get you. So if somebody wants to find out more about Due West, you said on all the socials, just Google Due West. It's going to come up. The music is on every platform that you can think of. It's all there. Look for them. They're not new. They've been around a couple of decades and they're rocking. And they're just as good as ever. So it's pretty cool. But
thank you, man. That means a lot.
It really does mean a lot. Thank you, Skip.
No, I appreciate what you're doing. I was excited to see that Grassroots, who is doing the promotion side for you. I was excited to see that you were with them. And when Shannon reached out, it's like absolutely. And cool. I really appreciate you taking the time to just kind of hang with me for a little bit.
Absolutely. And we definitely got to connect to CRS.
Oh, we are. We are. I'm always open for a cold one. I mean, I'm not afraid.
Good.
Believe me.
Good.
We always have a good time.
We'll buy the first round.
Well, you don't have
and
to.
It's cool. It does feel like we already know each other and have for a long time. So
I appreciate
you're a great
that.
soul, man.
I have a lot of fun when I do the podcast, and as you know, I do them at least twice a week. And a lot of artists, a lot of well-established artists. You mentioned Pam Tillis earlier. I've had her on. Yeah. I spent a night talking to Martina McBride. I've, nice. And then we get a lot of the really new artists too, and they're looking for a break, and it's pretty cool. So I just really appreciate you guys taking the time. Thanks for joining us here tonight at Skip Happens. Anything else you want to say about? What's the name of the band again? Just Due West.
Due West.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, wait a minute. It's right down. Oh, right there. There it is. There it is. Yeah. It sucks because this camera, everything's backwards.
I know. Next time we do this, we'll have our technology figured out better on our end. We definitely want to come back on the show. I don't know if you ever have a repeat, in a few months or whatever, but.
We'll all back. I can tell you, if you're dropping something new, you got something new going on, I'm going to give you you've got my number now too. So you can drop me a text and say, hey, dude, we're dropping this song, or we're doing, cool. We're going to be on the Opry. We want to come on and talk about it. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool. Okay, cool.
This is my own time, my own studio, my own podcast. And the other thing about this, just so you know, and anybody that's watching this, 92.1 The Wolf is the country station here in town. I do the afternoons, but every once in a while I take snippets out of my podcast. And if something's going on with a single and we're playing it, I'll say, hey, by the way, I sat down with the guys in Due West, and this is what they said about, before when they took a hiatus, this is what they were doing, and I'll air that little clip or something. It's kind of cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that's brilliant. Yeah, you can double use it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a benefit for everybody. So that's cool.
Very cool.
All right, one last question.
Yes,
I know,
sir.
and I lost there. You are you there? There you go. You're in and out with the picture, but all right. So, Brad, what do you drive?
I drive a Infiniti 250.
Nice. Ooh. All right, Tim. Tim's a truck guy. I know. Tim's a truck guy.
Yeah. I drive a couple trucks. I got a 2011 Chevy Silverado.
Nice.
And I have a Nissan Frontier. The Nissan Frontier gets around the mountains a little easier.
Yep. I went out, in competition with that, with the Frontier. I went out and just bought a Colorado. I bought the Trail Boss just a couple of weeks ago. Well, no, it was in November. It's more than a couple of weeks ago, but I'm loving it. So, and that's not meant to be a plug for Chevy or the Colorado. What about you, Matt?
I'm currently driving a Nissan Rogue. I love it. We actually use it for the radio tour. So I know. It's
here comes Matt.
I know.
Hey guys, get in.
My mom just bought one of those.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Meep. I know. I get it.
That's hilarious.
You guys are awesome. I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. Skip Happens. This is going to be posted, and hopefully your viewers, when they see it, that they will subscribe to Skip Happens on YouTube and enjoy all the great videos we have. And hopefully you enjoyed the interview as well. Thank you, Brad, Matt, Tim. Thank you. Love you guys. Want y'all to have a great night. Stay right there.
Will,